Hunter, and tonight I'm bringing you the hottest replay in the past 24 hours on the biggest replay site. At least we have MarineKing.Prime. He is the Pink Terran player at the top right position. MarineKing.Prime really made a name for himself at a number of the recent GSL tournaments. He's got 2 finals under his belt. Known for, of course, Marine Micro, lots of really aggressive build orders, stim Marines early, just really favoring that kind of play. He made it famous, but he kind of got figured out in that, the other pros, especially in the Korean scene, sort of figured out his style and learned to counteract it. So MarineKing has actually sort of introduced a lot more diversity into his build orders as of late, more mech and stuff like that. He comes up as Claves just because he needed a North American account to play in this matchup. This is a best of 3, and MarineKing.Prime's opponent is none other than Cruncher. One Cruncher, I guess that's the clan one. I'm not actually sure. This guy's brand new to the Starcraft 2 scene. He was a pro, or at least a very competitive player in Starcraft Brood War, but a lot of people have sort of been underestimating him so far. But he kind of walked right over Idra in other MLG, or sorry, actually it was the TSL rather, the Team Liquid Star League that takes place over many weekends. It's on right now actually. And yeah, this Protoss player, this orange Protoss player, Cruncher, just no problem, walked right over Idra. And yeah, really surprised a lot of people with that. So this should be a good match. It is on Xel'Naga Caverns. Once again, a PVT and a very early scout from Cruncher. He's gonna know. I mean, nothing too surprising. He just wants to make sure that MarineKing.Prime isn't trying, anything too cheesy. He wants to make sure that there's a barracks in his base and no proxies out on the map. And then the SCV from MarineKing.Prime heading out just a little bit later. He is going to get all the scouting info that he needs. MarineKing.Prime's SCV is not going to be forced out until this cybernetics core completes, and then a stalker is built, or maybe even the stalker might be chrono boosted out. And at that point, MarineKing.Prime, will be forced out. I'm wondering what he's actually has planned with this SCV. He is going to do a proxy. Okay. Very interesting. We'll have to see if this proxy works out for MarineKing.Prime. A really cheesy build. It's not unusual to put your proxy behind the high grass here. Back at MarineKing.Prime base, we see that one Cruncher stole the assimilator. Cruncher stole this assimilator just because when you limit your opponent to only 1 gas, it really reduces the number of build orders available to the opponent. For example, MarineKing.Prime definitely cannot get any kind of fast cloaked banshees anymore, just as one example. A couple of Marauders on the way out. Concussive Shells on the way. Marauders very strong against Stalkers, especially when you get Concussive Shell upgrade. Of course, when you're slowing Stalkers as well, it prevents them from microing away from you. So if you catch a Stalker, out, a straggler Stalker wandering where it shouldn't be out amongst the map, you can really take it out once you got Concussive Shells. Gonna get some Marines out here as well, and I'm sure that MarineKing.Prime is going to go for a really aggressive timing push any second. He might even pull SCVs off the line. You see that it's actually pretty common these days as well. This probe just hanging out back here might want to set up a proxy pylon, but little does Cruncher know there is going to be a really heavy assault any minute. Cruncher just assumes that there's only 1 barracks, producing. He really has no idea about the proxy, but as we can see here, we got a couple of SCVs, 2 Marauders, and a Marine, and then another couple of Marines along with an SCV down here at the natural, just looming outside of Cruncher's base. And Cruncher really isn't going to know this is coming until really right now, as he is heading up the map. Keep an eye out for the force fields. Excellent force field, trapping the 3 SCVs. If he can get a good positioning with his sentries, he might be able to snipe these SCVs as well. But looks like these sentries are going to run out of energy. 36 and 18. You need 50, of course, for a force field. So as soon as this force field expires, the Terran units are going to head up the ramp. And Warp Gate research finally complete. But he actually does have 3 gateways up. So Cruncher could very well hold this. He just warped in an extra Stalker, of course an extra force field. And now with the first round of Stalkers out, I hope I didn't call him a Stalker before. Of course, that is a sentry that force fielded the ramp. But with probes off the line, 3 stalkers, a couple of sentries, the zealot did get taken out, but probes actually are quite strong against marauders. Marauders don't do very much damage to probes. And you know what? This proxy barracks and aggressive maneuver by MarineKing.Prime really has been thwarted, and now MarineKing attempting to build a command center. He's going to try to expand behind this, but generally you only should feel safe expanding if your early aggression has been successful, and MKP really has not shown us a successful aggression, and even worse for wear. One cruncher now warping in a ton of gateway units, and we can see on the vision of MarineKing.Prime has no idea about this, so this could definitely spell disaster for MarineKing here. Is he going to be able to hold this off? He does have some marauders, a couple marines, even pulling the mules off the line, hoping that the mules could do something against this Protoss army, but it's really not looking too bright for MarineKing.Prime at this point. He is going to lose. He does tap out, and that is game 1. So we really did get to see some strong defense, even though Cruncher was completely in the dark about that proxy play. He had excellent force field placement, good reaction with a force field, good call warping in a bonus sentry, just to get enough time for that one extra round of stalkers to hold this off. And then, I mean, MarineKing's sort of lack of vision here was quite costly to him as well. So it was a bit of a short game, but some interesting tactics nonetheless. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I may go on and cast game